What is up, bros? Me, Josh. In today's video, we are going over, Josh, is the Musashi worth it? Is it worth it? Is the Musashi worth it? That's what this entire video is going to be about. If you saw yesterday's video, we went over the Kronstadt, the Tier 9 Russian cruiser, and whether or not I think it's worth it. We went over the good, the bad, what the play style was for that ship, and whether it would be a good choice for you or not. And in today's video, we are going over the Musashi. This was requested a lot in the comments, so I appreciate that. And yes, we will do a video on this. So breaking this down again in this video, I am going to go over the strengths, the weaknesses, the goods, the bads, what I like about the ship, what I dislike about the ship, and go over if I would buy this ship again. Now, keep in mind, in the end, it's going to be completely up to you guys. Are you guys going to like this ship? Does this check enough boxes for you guys? Is it worth it? Because it's your guys' free XP. It's your time. It's your grinding. And hopefully this will help you guys out and give you some insight on whether the ship is going to be a good fit for you. It's worth your free XP. I mean, 750k free XP, again, just like the Kron said, it's a lot of free XP. That's a lot of time and a lot of grind. So I don't want you guys to waste free XP on something that potentially you won't like. And potentially maybe get something else, you know, maybe if you want the Kronstadt instead, or the Nelson, or just save up for potentially anything else in the future. But in this video, we are going over the Musashi. Let's break it down really quick. Talk about the good and the bads compared to the ship that it's based off of, the Yamato. So these were sister ships in real life, and the Yamato, the tier 10, and the Musashi is a tier 9. Now, I know this is going to trigger some people, but pretty much simply this is a tier 9 Yamato. It basically is. The downsides about this ship are going to be a few things. First of all, it has awful AA. There's something, I mean, this ship in general, the Yamato isn't going to be getting any clear skies or anything like that. The Musashi is pretty much, I wouldn't say it's pointless, but if you're going to get bombed by tier 7 CVs relatively easily. You have basically tier 6, tier 7 level AA on a tier 9 ship. So stay close to your friends, because that is going to be one of the major downsides. I think you're way worse than the German ships. So the German battleship. So terrible AA. It's one of the biggest downsides too. The guns. Now these are still Yamato guns. They are Yamato guns. They're almost identical. A tenth of a kilometer shorter, a meter off of max dispersion, same reload, same everything. These are the same guns. One of the biggest values that's different though, the Yamato, of course, is the highest sigma in the game for battleships, and at 2.1. The Musashi is 1.8. So what does that mean? Although it's the same dispersion, there's more chance for this to be basically less accurate. It's not incredibly all over the place like Close Battle Colorado, but it is. If you play the Yamato and you play the Musashi, you're going to see that due to the sigma, you're going to be using that maximum dispersion a lot more than, let's say, the Yamato would. Still big guns though, 3 sets of 3, 460 millimeters. Massive shells, still going to lull pen, and still going to really just do a ton of damage. Also, one of the main things you can see when you look and compare these ships is it sits a lot higher in the water. Now, the Camel is going to make it a little hard to see, but these are some high, flat walls, so you are going to take Citadels a little bit more than you would in the Yamato. Obviously, if you are able to hit that Sheik, which you'll see in the game footage. But really, it's a tier 9 Yamato, and best thing about tier 9 Yamato is you can play against tier 7 ships. So just briefly going over this stuff, it's very similar everywhere else. Concealment, all that kind of stuff is super close. And armor layouts and all that kind of stuff is still really close. So let's dive into some game footage, and we'll go over overall how this ship plays, the goods, the bads, and what I've seen. I'm playing it a lot recently to kind of get some good info for this video. So here we are in game with the Musashi, and as you can see, this is something you're never going to see in the Yamato, and that's playing on estuary. This is a middle tier, quote unquote, middle tier map, and since you are tier 9, you will be going against tier 7 ships from time to time. Best part about the Musashi is even if you are technically up tier to tier 10, you're still a Yamato. That's one of the good things, right? And that's one of the biggest things. This is a tier 9 Yamato. If you enjoy the Yamato, you're really going to enjoy this ship, because it has all really the good things that the Yamato has, but with some rewards of being at tier 9. That's why I wanted to go over the ship as I did with the Kronstadt video. The Kronstadt, it kind of showed the strengths and the weaknesses of even going against tier 10 ships and everything like that. This is really going to show the potential of the fun you can have with the ship and the strength of the ship of having those massive 460 millimeter guns at these lower tier maps. We'll actually even be going in against a Cyclone as well, so that you can see what the Musashi can do. Also, there are no planes in this game, so you won't really get to see the abysmal AA on this, but you will get to see these big Yamato guns against a tier 7 New Orleans and a bunch of other ships at this tier. And also that's just going to be one of the big things with this ship. And in the end, guys, I will try to go over kind of an unbiased opinion on what I think about this ship, because it is a lot. It's 750k is a lot of free XP, and I want you guys to get the best value you can out of this ship and out of your free XP. But this game was actually a monster game and a pretty good comeback, and I don't think I could have really done anything that, you know, really could have done anything like I could with this ship. I think this is the only ship I could have really done and had the same outcome, because this thing's just an absolute monster. But going over the good and the bad of this ship. The good, they're massive, massive shells. So you're going to be getting pretty good consistent hits, but you will see throughout this video the kind of mediocre dispersion that you will get on this ship. It's not quite as dependable as, let's say, the Yamato was, but you will play it just like the Yamato. As you can see, I'm kind of using my armor and angling in like I normally would with the Yamato. I'm going to say it a lot, and I'm going to try not to say it. It's tier 9 Yamato. You know, that is a good and a bad thing about this ship. Good is because the Yamato is a great ship. It's a great battleship, and this is basically that good battleship, which is going to get rewarded even more because it has better matchmaking. But the downside is when I look for ships and when people ask me if it's quote-unquote worth it, I'm looking at stuff like, is this anything unique? Is this a unique game style? Kronstadt, look up Kronstadt. That is unique. You won't get that playstyle anywhere else. This, you'll get this playstyle in another ship called the Yamato. So when you're looking for uniqueness, I think the Musashi kind of lacks that a little bit, because it's a ship that you can get the exact same playstyle out of another ship in this game. That's one thing I like about, let's say, even the Nelson at tier 7. The Nelson plays differently than any other ship in the game. It is unique. So when people ask me if it's worth it, you know, that's something that you're going to have to take into effect of, is that something you want to play? Do you enjoy that? It's almost, I would say, like a premium version of the Yamato with better matchmaking, because it's basically almost exactly what that is. But overall, this is the kind of game you can have with this, just being able to pick on stuff. Now, the other tier 9 battleship of this tier is the Missouri, which isn't currently sold anymore, and that thing is an absolute monster. That is an Iowa with radar, and boy howdy can you just do massive work. But there are things with this ship that you can't even do with that ship, right? These big guns will just laugh at any kind of armor. You'll smash, and you can see me smash. I'll actually be going head-to-head against the Musashi later in this game, and you can see what what the right shot does against a Musashi against somebody that's not aiming in the correct spot. And that's something that only a Musashi would be able to do. But again, throughout this video, watch the consistency. You're going to see the Sigma. With the Sigma, it's the vertical dispersion on this ship. Although it has the same dispersion as the Yamato, you will be kind of all over the place. There was some games that I was playing this, and I felt this ship to be pretty consistent. I was getting a lot of games near that 100k mark. And again, if you even get to the up tier and playing the big maps, you're going to do fine. There's no real downside of this ship at all, really, for actual just, you know, if you getting up tier. That's what I'm kind of mean by that. But the big negatives of this ship, though, are if you have a CV that wants to pick on you. You can't do anything. You can spec full AA in this ship. It's going to do nothing. I have AFT on this, and still the rating, I think even DPS-wise, is 100... less than 130, so I think you have less AA technically than the Baron at tier 6. It's going to be really close, the amount of DPS you're pumping out for AA. I think you're less than the Baron, which is a tier 6 German battleship. Or if not, it's really, really, really close. Definitely not the Scharnhorst. So if a Ranger wants to pick on you, if a Saipan wants to pick on you, if anything, hell, I bet you a Ryujo, if it really wants to, could pick on you, and be fine doing it. It might eventually throw all its planes, but it would sink you. So you're going to have to pick a cruiser friend that has some AA, another battleship, maybe a DD or something like that, that has an AA consumable, because you're an easy sitting target. You're actually an easier target than, let's say, like a Bismarck. I think the Bismarck is pretty close to your AA rating. But one thing you can do, though, is you can just do battleship things consistently. You know, big shells coming out at 26-second reload. And when you get a, you know, it's still a Yamato, right? It's Yamato going against tier 7s. but you aren't going to be going against them all the time. But when you do, you can have lots of fun and you can pick on them. It almost seems cheating sometimes when you play this ship. Let's say going against like a Colorado or a, I think this is actually a decent little hit on the Haida as well. I mean, 7 minutes in, we're already at, and see, there's a nice little grouping right there. You know, with that dispersion, you're going to get Yamatos for a ton of time, but with that sigma difference, you are going to get that difference of, I guess, consistency is what you're going to lack a little bit. But overall, it's still going to be good. But the Yamato will only see tier 8s. This will be tier 7s. And I think the best part about this ship is you will see fun maps. These mid-tier maps. This is a map that you will never see with the tier 10 ship. But you'll get salvos like this. 12 kilometers, 12.5 kilometers. And that's what ends up happening. There's the sigma right there. Plenty of vertical instead of that horizontal line that you want. With, let's say, something like the Yamato, the Montana is going to be more horizontal than actual vertical. But secondaries are going to be basically the same. I don't have this, I don't have this set out for secondary range, I don't believe. Well, I'm at like 10K, 10.1, so it's still decent. These tend to be a bit more of AP shells with the 8. I think they're lacking some of the HE mounts that the Yamato normally would, but you will get a bunch of AP shells, so it'll be more of the alpha damage, not as many fires. So that is, I guess, a little bit of the upside and downside. And it's going to take a torp here. One thing that's also nice is this has an insane torp belt. I think it's like 56%. So even though we're going to take that torp, it was actually, that was actually a pretty hurtful torp. 18,000? It must have just rolled pretty high. I guess it was a Fletcher torp, but still. It does have a pretty good torp belt. As I say that, I take at 18,000. I kind of confuse myself. Yeah, that made me laugh. I'm sorry. But anyways, stuff like this too. DDs are pretty low, and you'll see when I go against some Haida torps, he kind of picks on me a little bit. But we kind of just brush it off a bit. But already we're at 128K, 9 minutes into this game, and we've been able to tank just a tad under 700K. But we're gonna start beating up on this Nagato. There's nothing he can really do. He even has some pretty big shells. He's shooting HE, so we can obviously tank that a little bit. And one thing we need to start doing is start working it, because we are a big ship. We have a lot of muscles as a battleship, especially in this matchmaking, and we need to start making it go. So as you can see, the secondaries are popping off, but again, no fires coming from those. And we have these destroyers here right there too, 7 kilometers away. We only get one hit. That's going to be that sigma again. That's going to be one of the downsides of this ship. But here we go. We're going to see a Haida, so he's going to drop his single fire torps, and we're going to take all 4 of them. So a bit of a bummer. I thought I was in a lot more trouble than I was, but we're going to shrug off a little bit of this damage, and there we go. Down to 26K. We're going to be able to heal a lot of that up, and we'll kind of be all right as we go through. And I think we can even get the Fletcher here. He gets the kill there. The Divmate played pretty damn well. I think he even ends up getting a nice little crack in this game. But we're just here to tank that damage and keep pushing through. One thing that's nice about this ship, though, is even though they have 2 DDs, you can shrug off some torps, but going against anything else, you're just going to absolutely smash. Again, this is the thing I like about this ship. Even the credit potential on this ship is pretty decent. Of course, it isn't Missouri level, but still, you're going to get that premium, that tier 9 premium, relatively low repair costs since it is a premium ship. But again, the things I'm going to stress in this video, guys, is the things I like about this ship, which are the things that this ship brings is Yamato guns to tier 7 matchmaking. You know, and I mean, you're going to be going against tier 7s from time to time. That is what's awesome. Now, most of the time, you will be playing against 8s and 10s. That's just part of it being in tier 9s. But this is kind of the part of the game that's amazing. I think that the lower tiers, or the kind of that mid tier, is some of the best maps in the game. Estuary, it's a rather small map, so you can get into action relatively quickly. I love that. I love that about this game. Oh, you know why that torp was so high? No, that was a Fletcher. Okay, never mind. I thought it was an IGN DD. But these are the maps that you get to play, which from time to time, which are amazing, and that makes the Yamato / Musashi even stronger. So that's the biggest upside. Downside is it's the Yamato, right? So when I'm talking about that is that's the biggest drawback, is you can get this. Is this ship unique? The thing about this ship being unique is where it can play and the ships it can play against. That's the side that sets it apart. Playstyle wise, you're going to get this exactly with the Yamato, which I would consider a relatively big negative to this. If you do not like the Yamato, or you don't like high tier battleship play, you're not going to like this. Now, I think something like the Missouri is a little bit more fun to play consistently because it adds, you know, it is the Iowa, but it adds radar. Now, this is the Yamato, and it is the Yamato. So, again, strength and weaknesses right there. I think that overall is kind of one of the, I guess I would state it as like a negative. And luckily the lion hits him right here, smacks him in the face, bunch of HE. But you'll get to see what this thing can do against another Musashi. Musashi versus Musashi, we both have 2 kills. Only one will get away. He's almost full life. And we're going to aim for that cheek and in go the big guns. And only 4,800, that was kind of a bummer. But he wants to kill the lion behind me. I don't know why he didn't like him so much, but our lion's going to shoot HE. But, of course, we got these big Yamato guns going against basically a Yamato. We got to shoot at him. So, aim right under that front turret. You guys will see exactly where I'm aiming right there, under those front 2 guns. And there's the first, here's the first of many. There we go, nice little double citadel. And when I see that this guy is going to continue to shoot at our lion, and our lion is shooting HE at him at about 4 kilometers, I figure I'm probably pretty safe to turn out. And you'll see me give a nice little smack, and I can turn in right here. Again, normal Yamato play with this ship, and right under those front guns, waiting for the first salvo. And there we go, a nice little salvo right there, easy peasy. And I think our St. Louis even gets the kill over here for a 6 kill. I think he gets it. Yeah, there we go. So, breaking this whole ship down, what does it bring that's different? It brings amazing maps that are mid-tier that a big battleship is just going to have a blast on. Estuary, that's an awesome map for something with this much pressure, these types of guns, secondaries. It's amazing, right? But overall, it's a tier 9 Yamato. You know, things I look for are uniqueness. Does this thing bring anything unique? Just purely looking at the ship itself, no. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's a tier 9. It's a tier 9 premium Yamato. So think about that when you guys go into this and when you guys are picking this ship. Would I buy this ship again? This one's a little tough for me, honestly. Kronstadt, I would say yes. Nelson, I don't really like the ship that much, but I would say yes, it's something different. Missouri, oh god, yes. I'd buy 2-3 over again if I could, just because of the pure credit potential. But the Musashi is a little tough for me, because the only things that you're really going to see any kind of difference than you would in another ship that's already in the game is when you get gifted these other maps and other kinds of matchmaking. That's basically it. So for me, would I buy this ship again? For as little as I play this ship, I am in a good spot that I have the Missouri. I know a lot of people don't have the Missouri. 99 out of 100, I would pick the Missouri over this ship. I just find the Missouri more fun. I found the Alsace more fun, although that's going to potentially get its nerf or whatever. So this one is kind of a push for me. Things you're going to look at. 1, do you enjoy playing high-tier battleships? 2, do you enjoy playing the Yamato? And 3, do you want this style of play? This is kind of that tanky, bow tanky style of battleship play on top of that, with with some weaknesses in there with the AA and with its high flat walls. So in the end, would I buy it again? I guess if I had enough laying around and was relatively close, sure. Would I go out of my way to grind this thing like I did the Kronstadt, like I did the Missouri, other stuff like that? No, I wouldn't go out of my way. I just think it's too similar to a ship that's already in the game. But if you are kind of a diehard battleship player and you want something else, and you are a diehard Yamato player and you want to kind of pick on some tier 7 ships, because we kind of all like to do that, hell yeah, go pick it up, go have some fun. You can even make a ton of credits with this ship too. It's not, of course, as I said earlier, not Missouri level, but still, the tier 9 premium, it's pretty solid. But anyways, guys, I want to make this video kind of breaking this down. Things I looked at and I want you guys to look, because in the end, it's your free XP, so I want to help you guys out and give you as much information as possible. Upsides, you can get a Yamato, making extra credits. and potentially better matchmaking going against easier ships. That's the upside. Downside, it's a ship you can get in the game, or you potentially already have in the game. So, wanted to make this video, guys. If there's enough boxes, check it. Go pick it up. Go have some fun. Go play the Musashi and go smash things. If it's not, I don't think you're going to miss out on too much. And you can potentially save it for something else or pick up one of those ships. But anyways, guys, I want to make this video. It was highly requested after the last video of the Kronstadt. Again, I'll put a link down below. Go check that out. And that's it for me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.